Hello, and welcome to Introduction to IrwinDM 2020 R1. We are very excited about this release as we have updated the base UI with a more modern look and feel that also provides additional functionality which can greatly improve productivity. Please note that the existing DM online tool training courses will remain unchanged at this point since the guided editors, wizards, and any other sub-UIs remain unchanged. The agenda is as follows. First, we will look at the new user interface. Then we will discuss the new IrwinDM scheduler, followed by some productivity enhancements, and we will wrap up with some miscellaneous items. In this section, we plan to introduce the far-ranging changes made to the IrwinDM user interface, also referred to as the UI. As you will see, these changes are in line with those reflected in many current Windows 10 applications, enhancing overall modeler productivity and resulting in an improved product experience. On opening IrwinDM 2020 R1 for the first time, you will immediately notice the new ribbon-like menu system. This style menu was introduced a few years ago by Microsoft and has become the de facto standard for many modern-day user interfaces. Let's take a closer look at the new IrwinDM menus. To ensure modelers remain productive when first upgrading to IrwinDM 2020 R1, our ribbon menus are based on the menus found in IrwinDM 2019 R1. Changes have been made to more logically organize some of the menu items, update the menu icons, and to take advantage of ribbon menu capabilities. Using the ribbon menus couldn't be simpler. You select the desired menu, such as the home menu on the display being shown, and the ribbon changes to reflect all submenu items available for that menu. This is comparable to clicking on a menu in our previous product released 2019 R1 and a pop-up dialog of submenu items appearing. This menu, the home menu, did not exist in previous products but has been added to improve the modeler effectiveness when creating or changing a model diagram. You should also note that some of the toolbars found in our prior products have been carried forward to IrwinDM 2020 R1 while others have not. As in the past, you can change and/or create new toolbars, including those not carried forward by default via IrwinDM's customization capabilities. This is the new View menu. It has been organized to better reflect those items related to what is viewed in the workspace. We eliminated the old Windows menu item and included the window arrangement submenu items on this new View menu. One of the major benefits of using a ribbon menu system is that submenu items are generally viewable on the ribbon. Notice that all the display level submenu items are visible without the modeler having to make any selections. In the previous product menu systems, modelers would have to select View and then click on Display Level from the pop-up menu in order to display the secondary pop-up containing the display level submenu items. Fewer keystrokes and/or mouse clicks and less menu pop-ups to navigate translate into improved modeler productivity. The new diagram menu contains those items found in the old diagram menu, just with new icons and in an easier-to-use format. The new model menu also contains those items found in the old model menu, again just with new icons and an easier-to-use format. Here is the new Mart menu. Previously, Mart was a submenu buried, so to speak, in the old File menu. To help Workgroup Edition modelers manage their models in Marts, we have elevated this old submenu item to a full-fledged menu. This new menu contains those items found on the old Mart submenu, just with new icons, and again an easier-to-use format, and a new Password section to facilitate password updates. The new Actions menu contains most items found on the old Actions menu. The items no longer included, Manage Name Hardening, Model Name Options, and Review Changes, were moved to better reflect the intent of this menu item. Manage Name Hardening and Model Name Options are now found in the Tools menu. Review Changes is now found on the Mart menu. The new Tools menu contains most items found on the old Tools menu, All naming standards menu items no longer split against two different menus. The metadata import-export bridges previously found in the old file menu, the reintroduced query tool, the new scheduler tool, more about that later, and the DM NoSQL integration menu previously found on the old file menu. And of course, the new icons and easier to use format. The new Help menu contains those items found in the old Help menu. Again, just with a new, improved look and feel. The new File menu is devoted to file operations such as open, close, save, and print. The redesigned menu item now displays a modeler-managed list of recently opened files, MART and/or native IrwinDM files. This list includes the time and the date of the last update, model size, and the ability for modelers to pin models to the top of the list as favorites. This feature is useful to ensure that actively worked models are quickly found, no searching required. Items on the recent file list can be removed via right-click or unpinned if no longer required as favorites. The other big news is that the new recent file list is no longer limited to 4 or 9 or some other arbitrary selected number of models. Let's look at how modelers can modify and control the look and feel of the new ribbon menu UI. The controls we want to focus on are in the upper right corner of the IrwinDM window, just below the standard window control icons for minimize, maximize, and close. There are three items available in this area: an upwards facing caret, the Options menu dropdown, and the information symbol lowercase I inside a circle. The upwards facing caret is used to minimize or hide the ribbon menu, which gives modelers a little more room for their model workspace. The menu bar, sometimes referred to as name tabs, is always visible, and when the modelers click on a menu item, the ribbon menu for that item temporarily appears, allowing selection of a submenu item. After selecting a submenu item, or just clicking on the visible diagram, the ribbon menu will automatically disappear. You can think of this as a ribbon menu auto-hide feature. In this mode, the upwards facing caret will appear as a downwards facing caret, and if selected will unhide or display the ribbon menu. The Options menu provides modelers the ability to modify visual aspects of their workspace. There are 4 predefined window styles: colorful, black, light, and dark, as well as 4 predefined font sizes: System Default, Normal, Large, and Extra Large. Combined, the Minimize, Style, and Font Control options provide IrwinDM users with the flexibility necessary to ensure that the modeling environment doesn't negatively impact a modeler's effectiveness. The final control item, the information symbol, is a shortcut that allows modelers to quickly display the About dialog when required. The About dialog is also accessible by selecting Help, About, or by pressing F12 on the keyboard. Now that we have that covered, let's move on. The Quick Access toolbar provides quick access to user-selected menu and/or submenu items, which increases overall modeler productivity, as a single mouse click is required to perform any of the Quick Access toolbar menu functions, such as open, save, print, etc. This toolbar can appear above the ribbon menu, the default position, or below the ribbon menu. Users can easily customize the items that appear on this toolbar, as well as the other toolbars, via the Customize feature. The Customize feature is accessed by selecting the downward-facing arrow on the toolbar, as shown in the display, and then clicking on More Commands. Note, the Customize feature can also be accessed by clicking on the downward-facing arrow of any displayed toolbar, selecting Add or Remove buttons, and then clicking on Customize. The Customize dialog permits users to create or modify toolbars using the Toolbars and Command tabs, modify the Quick Access toolbar using the Quick Access tab, create or modify shortcut keys using the Keyboard tab, as well as set several options related to overall toolbar display functions using the Options tab. There are 2 additional UI improvements that we want to highlight. The first is a set of model window tabs which are located above the modeling workspace. These tabs automatically appear as modelers open existing or create new models. The tabs are a convenient mechanism to quickly move between models with a single mouse click. The tabs facilitate model reordering in the workspace by simply clicking and dragging a model-related tab to a new desired location. Models can also be closed by clicking on the Close symbol, capital X, located on the upper right corner of each tab. The second UI improvement is available when viewing a physical model or the physical display of a logical physical model. The database name located on the right side of the status bar is now a clickable button. It provides modelers with quick access to the target database dialog, thereby providing modelers with a modest productivity boost whenever changing database targets. In this section, we plan to introduce the new REDB, Reverse Engineer from Database Scheduler tool. As you will see, this new product feature has been designed from the ground up to look and feel very familiar, styled after Microsoft's Outlook calendar, and uses pre-existing IrwinDM reverse engineering capabilities to increase modeler productivity as much as possible. Let's take a closer look at the new IrwinDM Scheduler tool. The IrwinDM Scheduler is found on the Tools menu. When selected, a calendar dialog displaying completed, running, and/or schedule or pending events is displayed. The format of this display is similar to that found in Microsoft Outlook and many other calendar applications. This is not an accident, as our goal was to provide a familiar environment for scheduling reverse engineering from a database tasks. In addition to the calendar-specific options displayed on the Scheduler's Tools Home ribbon menu, there are options to connect or disconnect to and from the MART, as well as options to start or stop the scheduler service. Creating a new scheduler event is as simple as double-clicking the desired time slot or highlighting a time slot, right-clicking, and then selecting Add New Event. A Scheduler Event Details dialog is then displayed. Modelers should enter a unique name for the event, also referred to as a task or job, the source database details, adjust the start and end date times, and optionally select a label and category color, which is used for user-defined cataloging of events. After entering the event details, the modeler should click on the Reverse Engineer button to open the Event Properties dialog. This is the reverse engineering dialog that most IrwinDM users are familiar with one big difference. That difference is the addition of a new section, see the highlighted area, that allows modelers to specify details related to a scheduled RE and optionally to run a complete compare. It is important to note that models can be either native IrwinDM models or MART models. The complete compare output is produced in an HTML format and can only be a native operating system file. After entering the RE dialog information and verifying the database connection details, modelers are returned to the Scheduler Events Details dialog. To run the scheduler job immediately, the Schedule Now checkbox should be checked before clicking the OK button. Otherwise, the job will run when scheduled. The job will appear as a scheduled or pending event on the calendar until it runs. The event status is displayed below the event name on the Scheduler Event Calendar. Therefore, it is always best to create events that are at least 2 lines large, in other words, a 60-minute event. The left border of the event entry displays a visual indication of event status. Transparent, the same background color as the event entry, indicates pending. Red indicates an error or failed event, and green indicates a successful event. While running, a % complete estimate is displayed on the event status line, and when complete, the elapsed time is displayed. Finally, a right-click on an event entry will display a pop-up menu. This menu gives modelers the option to rerun the event, copy the event, cancel the event, delete the event, display the event log, or open the Event Properties dialog. Clicking on the Event Log menu item will display the event log, a very useful item especially if a scheduled event fails to run successfully. If selected on the RE Event Properties Detailed dialog, the Complete Compare results will be written and saved to an HTML file. This file will contain the result details of the compare step of the schedule event. This result file is designed to closely resemble the report generated by Complete Compare to ensure modelers are familiar with the format and content display so as not to negatively impact productivity. One of the benefits of using the IrwinDM Scheduler tool is that modelers can create schedule events to run on weekends, holidays, overnight, or during times when the modeler does not require access to IrwinDM or the workstation. This is important as large enterprise reverse engineering tasks can execute for an extended period of time, depending on the reverse engineering task specifics. If such a task were to run during the modeler's normal work hours, their workstations might possibly be unavailable for other modeling tasks during that time. To help modelers effectively create and display scheduled events that generally do not conflict with other workday tasks, the scheduler provides a collection of calendar options similar to those provided by most calendar apps. These options are displayed on the Calendar Options dialog. This dialog gives modelers complete control over the information and format of the information displayed on the scheduler calendar. As scheduled events may run when modelers are not sitting in front of their workstation, the IrwinDM Scheduler also provides the capability for those events to generate email notifications. The modeler needs to provide basic information for email notifications to work. To and CC are simple and straightforward. SMTP information and connection details, username and password, may require assistance from the organization's email system administrator. This dialog also allows the modeler to select the type of notification they wish to receive. Emails can be generated and sent on job creation, job start, job end only if an error has occurred. If email notification is selected, an email such as this will be generated and sent to all individuals included on the defined To and CC lists. In this section, we plan to review the additional significant productivity enhancements included in IrwinDM 2020 R1. When deleting a relationship between two entity or table objects, IrwinDM automatically drops the migrated foreign key information from the child object, as that information really exists only in the parent object, that is, until IrwinDM 2020 R1. The Delete dialog now contains a checkbox that will allow modelers to retain the migrated foreign key information in the child object. The retained information will be disconnected from the parent object and will become owned information of the child object. This is a real modeler time saver, as the previous dropped information does not have to be recreated and added back into the child object going forward. IrwinDM 2020 R1 enhances modeler productivity by adding a Quick Compare option. This option, or capability, improves Complete Compare by providing underlying performance improvements in addition to a streamlined compare option set. To take advantage of Quick Compare, modelers should perform the two following actions. First, the modeler must select the Quick Complete Compare checkbox on the Options dialog. This bypasses comparison of hidden model properties, thereby improving overall compare performance. Second, when running a Complete Compare, the modeler should select the Speed option set on the Type Selection tab. This option set automatically selects a predefined set of properties for comparison. Note, modelers can easily modify the properties that are included or excluded in this option set and save their changes for future use. When both actions are done, modelers should see a noticeable improvement in Complete Compare performance. We've also enhanced the IrwinDM SuperType-Subtype transformation to retain both a logical representation and a separate physical representation. To invoke this new capability, modelers must select the SuperType-Subtype transformation checkbox on the Options dialog, as this functionality literally changes how IrwinDM processes this transformation. To change the transformation from identity, the default for all models before this improvement, to rollup, modelers must right-click on the supertype/subtype symbol that appears on the logical diagram. Then they should select Properties from the pop-up menu, which opens the Supertype/Subtype Properties dialog. Now present on the upper portion of this dialog is a new column titled Transformation Type. Using this drop-down menu item, modelers can now set the physical implementation for the logical supertype/subtype transformation to rollup or identity. Although roll-down is a valid transformation type, it is not yet implemented in IrwinDM. There are plans to add this additional transformation selection in an upcoming product release. If the preceding actions were performed correctly, modelers can now maintain different logical and physical visualizations for supertype and subtype constructs. To help modelers working with MART models better anticipate and plan for a potential size-related product performance impact, we've added the display of the following 3 model object counts to the Model Open dialog: Entity Table, Attribute Column, and Relationship. In this next section, we plan to review the miscellaneous product improvements included in IrwinDM 2020 R1. Potential third-party component security issues related to the Irwin Query Tool have been resolved, and as a result, the Query Tool functionality is once again available for use in IrwinDM. For now, the functionality remains the same, but this may change in the future. We have made security improvements across the product. Known potential security vulnerabilities have been addressed, third-party components have been updated, and a complete validation of IrwinDM 2020 R1 was performed by the industry's market-leading independent software testing and validation organization. Items identified during the validation process were resolved and then successfully retested in order to achieve our security certification. Customers have requested additional license-related security and flexibility. To address those requests, we have added license usage filtering based upon network IP addresses and/or enterprise domain names, simplified licensing in organizations having multiple editions of IrwinDM installed, and implement a borrow license feature that allows users to temporarily check out a license from their organization's available license pool for offline use, concurrent use licenses only. These features are optional, but available to most users. Simply contact our Level 1 support organization for additional details. And, based on the feedback received from Workgroup Edition users, we have re-architected the MART reporting feature and eliminated the need to maintain a redundant set of synchronized MART reporting objects. Therefore, modelers are able to run MART-level reports without waiting for sync operations to complete, an activity that could have taken quite a while in the past, especially if the MART contains many large enterprise models. At the same time we are improving the MART reporting capability, our team also worked on optimizing various other MART internal functions. The net result of that effort has been an overall improvement of MART performance. Every new product release includes database improvements, and Irwin Data Modeler 2020 R1 is no exception. New in this product release is native support for Redshift database. This functionality has been widely requested by IrwinDM modelers, and coupled with its market popularity, support was given. We have also enhanced IrwinDM 2020 R1 to support DB2 LUW v11.1. The newly supported DB2 objects are consistent with the DB2 ZOS v12 objects of similar name supported in our previous 2019 R1 product release. And finally, we added database compatibility certifications for SQL Server 2019, Oracle 18 and 19c, and the 3 newest releases of PostgreSQL. Okay, let's take a moment to summarize. In this release, we have revamped to a modern user interface, added reverse engineering from database scheduler tool. The productivity enhancements we've added are the query tool, retain migrated foreign keys on relationship delete, complete compare speed improvements, separate logical physical subtype supertype transformations, and MART and model object counts. Some of the miscellaneous product improvements are security improvements and updates, user-requested licensing changes, MART performance increases, and upgraded database currency. Thanks for participating in the Introduction to Irwin DM 2020 R1 course. Have a great day.